Okay, so I'm back finally. What a nightmare it has been trying to get my camera working. I hope this works. Fingers crossed. And don't look at my fingernails. I've been doing a lot of yard work since it's spring. So I'm going to start immediately in. By the way, this is the Preppy Crafty Girl. And we are back working on our hymnal journal. So I gutted it. And I took out some of the pages that I wanted, some of the songs that I wanted, and I'm just going to set those aside. And what I want to do is measure this real quick so I can get the rest of my measurements. So my hymnal is 5 1/4 approximately by 8 1/4. So my pages are going to be 5 1/4 by 8 1/4. And why is it whenever you have a room full of paper, there's nothing ever to write on? Have you ever noticed that? 5 1/4 by 8, and I've already forgotten that measurement. 8 1/4. Okay. So what I'm going to do is first, I'm just going to, this I already know is the right size. These are the right size. Yeah, that should work. This is the right size. This is the right size. I think 6, this should be the right size. Now these I'm just going to turn because I'm not going to use the full, like I'll probably just use this as for the colors in the background, not necessarily the content. Although I might want it, I do want to use this one. So this one I'll need to cut down. This one I'm just going to fold in half. And then I'll measure afterward. These I'm going to fold in half. And that one will work. I like to use different, I like to change it up. Big and small pages. Not everybody likes to do that. This is a really interesting. So now I'm going to flip that over like that. I don't. Alright. It's going to be upside down. I don't know that I like that card. What is on that card? Let me see what else I have. Our ground clay is perfect. Polite cast. I think I like this better. Patient, mature, proper, immature. And then I think I'm going to fold this over so that I can have like a little flip out, or I may stitch that and make a pocket. This is definitely going to get folded. This will definitely, I don't know if I'll just keep it. Sometimes I want to keep them like this, and sometimes I like folding them in half and then cutting off the top so I have tag pockets or sticker pockets or something like that. So maybe I'll do one of each. That one will have to get measured. This will have to get measured. Some of these I've already started to cut in when the camera went out. So let me check this one. This looks a little wide. Yeah, it's going to be a little wide. So I need to pull these out. Those two are going to be too wide. That's kind of what you want to do, is fold it in half, decide how you want to fold it in half, and then you're going to take it and we're going to cut it down to the size that we need. Or you can do like a tri-fold like I showed you. So this I want to keep like this, but I'm going to cut the end off there. So that for sure is going to have to get cut. This is the right size, I can tell. I did do that. I did take this. I think I showed this in the last video. Is an 8 1/2 by 11 page protector. I folded it in half. I cut the top at an angle, and I cut where the holes are. I just cut that off, but left where it was fused. So then I'll have like a clear pocket in there. This I believe is the right size. Yeah, 5 1/4. It's exactly the right size. This looks like it's a little too wide. The right size. This might be too wide. Well, that's exactly the right size. This definitely needs to get cut down. And then This is scrapbook paper. So these may have to get cut down. Let me see. Does anybody else have the problem with the Tim Holtz ruler? I have to flip it like 5 times. Oh. Did I measure that? I think it was 5 1/4. 5 1/4. I think these are all pre-cut the right size. And some of them are double-sided. Some of them have just are white, and I'm going to leave it that way because that's good for watercoloring or sketching on. This is a book. This is an old book cover. What do you call it? And then I'll probably stitch that and make pockets. So, or I may do a flap, but I just like that it had the dog, and it's like a German book of some sort, but I like that it was a lady and a dog because I have a dog. So, this is 5 1/4. Exactly. Even if it wasn't, I could still come in and I could probably fold a little bit more like that. I might leave one, and I like the jaggy edge, or I might come in and stitch something at the top or glue something at the top. I'm not really sure yet. Okay, these I'm going to flip on their side. These old readers. I love the horse, of course. And this was a watercolor paper. I mean, I just did it with, that needs to be cut down, watercolor paper. This was handmade Italian paper. I think I went over all of this. I pre-cut this one, I know. Yep. These are actually 2 of those. And even though I'm going to be traveling, I don't really care that it has Cincinnati and that's not where I'm going, because I will definitely just cover that over, I'm sure. So this needs to be trimmed down. This needs to be trimmed down. Probably needs to be trimmed down. Let's see. Yeah. Some vintage wallpaper. Now, I could also come in and make it smaller by folding it narrower, then coming in on this side and folding that in like that. I could make it a stitch, make it a pocket, or I would have something to tear off later on and add to another page. So I think that's what I'm going to do with these. I can even do like some kind of little skinny trifold like that. Oh, these will work. Another one. And then this one will be wide enough. But I'm going to fold that in like that. Not sure about this paper. This is going to have to get cut. Yep. Not too much. This paper is really thin. This I got in Denmark years ago at the Tiger store. So, okay, these all need to be trimmed down. I'm going to do that really quick. Pretty much, I think they all just need to be... I wish I had a big guillotine cutter, because what I would do is I would stitch the signatures together, and then I would just cut them all at one time. And I could probably do that at like Staples or something. I could do that. Alright, now I want to divide them up into 3s. Sorry, this is going to be really boring, but I haven't learned how to, you know, just watching me cut paper. But I haven't learned how to put together videos for YouTube yet, so I just go direct up. So please Give me some grace. I'm just kind of figuring this whole thing out. I'm trying to get finished before my camera crashes. I would stop it, but then I don't know how to like upload. I don't know how to like upload the next chapter to where it's like on the same video. So I'll get there if you guys just hang with me. I feel terrible. Okay, let's go a little bit. And, oh, this is actually 2. And I'm separating them over on the side in groups of 3 because I'm going to have 3 signatures in my journal. I want 3 signatures. So I'm trying to get like a little bit of each in each one. Right. Ah. Okay, this probably needs to get cut this way now, down this. Uh-oh. Ah, that wasn't good. That's a problem with vintage paper. Sometimes it's really fragile and it just tears like that. So I'm just going to come in. And again, I do everything just kind of willy-nilly. I don't care that it's the line, you know, the pages aren't cut straight. That doesn't bother me at all. This one. Okay. This is almost 5 1/4. Again, I'm putting them into 3 piles. 5 1/4. This one is 5 1/4. This was the coolest book on French tapestries. Just, I love the, I don't know if you call it Picasso-esque, what that era was. What's that era called? Surrealism? No. Oh my goodness, I can't even remember. Going back to art. Okay, let's see. 5 1/4. Oh good, that didn't shred. 5. So it just needs to be evened up. And then this one, I'm going to do it even this way. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And then this one. Let's cut that off. And again, I like the jaggy edge. That doesn't bother me. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to stack. You want to stack all the pages. So we're going to work 1 signature at a time. So I've got my 3 signatures. I know they're not all in view, but I started to kind of separate them as I was cutting. And I'm just going to take the rest and I'm going to make sure that there's like pretty much even. If they're not, like this isn't gonna, but then I might, you know, oh well, there's 3 of these, but then I might, you know, do an extra one over here or something else. So, and I'm just going to random pile them up. These are going to be really thick signatures, but I like my journals really chunky. This is gonna be like super chunky. Maybe I'll only do 2 and save I might only do 2 because I think it's going to be too fat. I think I'm making them too thick. No, now that I just like to include everything. Ah, it's so hard. I just like to include everything. And when I took these pages out, I just wanted to let you know that I cut the stitching. This book, actually, their signatures were stitched in. So I went through and I cut the stitching in the signature so that I didn't tear the pages out. And I want to, like, tuck some of these in there, because I want to use a bunch of the hymnal pages in here. There's another one there. Because my spine on this one is only an inch. So I could have used I could cut the spine off, but I want to use the existing spine. Oh my goodness, have thine own way, Lord. Wow. My Jesus, I love thee, I know thou art mine. For thee all the follies of sin I resign. My gracious Redeemer, my Savior art thou. If ever I love thee, my Jesus, 'tis now. I love that song. That was such a good song. My Jesus, I love thee. Sorry for the music interlude. I couldn't help myself. Musical interlude. And I can't cut it out because I don't know how to edit videos yet. Wah. Okay. So, I think I need a couple more on this signature. Alright, I'm going to set this signature aside and I will save this for another hymnal. Because I have all kinds of inclusions I want to put in, not just... I want to have the title on this one. I don't necessarily on my first one. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stack these. So you're going to take your pages. You want to pull one that's probably pretty hardy for the outside, since that one's going to be used quite a lot. And this is a good one. I can put a title on here. So I'm going to use, this is a nice heavier page. I'm going to put this in here. And whenever they're torn like this one was pretty worn, I can go in, you can either add a piece of fabric to it, you could add washi tape, which I'm going to do right now, only because I have some right here. So I'm going to, just to sure that up, or I could take a piece of wallpaper and stitch it on there. I mean, there's all kinds of things, but why when you want to find, why when you need this tape? And this tape is super old. I have no idea where I got it. So don't email me. Don't email me. Okay. It maybe's old Seven Gypsies. I'm hoping it's even sticky anymore. Or, to be honest with you, I don't even know where I got it. Okay. It's super, super old. Probably over 10 years. But it's still sticking. It's kind of like masking tape. But I'm going to go back on the other side with the rest of that. And this, because I don't want my stitching to, my needle to get all gummed up on this. This is like washi tape. I mean, not more. It's more like masking tape, printed masking tape than washi tape. It's not washi tape, but you could use washi tape. I just had this on my desk, so that's what I'm using. So I'm gonna go in and I'm just going to fold this because it'll make stitching my signature together easier. And again, okay, so I'm doing that. Oh yeah, I wanted that on the outside. Guess it doesn't matter. Plus that'll make, that way when I'm stitching it, it won't, and then I'm going to come in with a little smaller piece and maybe put it down toward the bottom. So you get the gist of it. You're just going to come in and lay them down how you want them. Okay, I'm. Okay, so it's a weird card. Then some you want in the middle. So you just want to kind of stagger them. I'm going to put this in. Put a big page now. I need a couple of big pages. And then I'll come back in, and plus you want some printed papers. Definitely need some printed pages in here. Like so. Some smaller pages. I need to put some more hymnal pages in. I think I'm going to do that again on this one. Not the whole page, because this doesn't look as bad. And I don't need to do the other side. And I'm going to add this in. Some wallpaper. This will go in. Some of this thinner paper. Envelope, that's too much white. I need something with it. Maybe the map. An envelope, maybe this way. Another one of these. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to sketch in this. I'm so excited. Okay. So again, agreed. Another piece of this. I could cut it, but I'm just going to fold it over, and that'll hold that nice. This. Almost done with this one. It's been so long since I pulled this paper. I forgot what I pulled. I'm kind of excited about what I pulled. One last one. Okay. I don't want to tap too much that way. standing it up, because remember how I laid in the shorter pieces, so you kind of don't want to do that, but you want to just straighten from the edges, if that makes any sense. And then we're just going to fold it over in half, like so. And you know what? I'm going to have to come in and chop off the sides, I think, because I have so many pages, and I think that's going to fold over. So if that happens and you have a guillotine thingy, that'd be awesome. But you know what? I'm just going to trim mine down with a good old pair of scissors, because I may go in with washi tape on the thinner pages and do the edges so they don't break apart. There, perfect. And I don't mind, like I said, that they're wonky. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to find your middle, and I'm going to grab it, and I've got clips, and I'm just going to clip it. I saw Celeste had these, and I had them. Well, actually, it came off this big, tall thing, and I just unscrewed them and pulled them off. They had like 3 of them on there, I guess, to hold letters at one time. I don't know. And these are brass. They're super heavy. But I saw my friend Celeste had them, and I was like, oh, I need to do that. Like, I have one of those things that I don't use. Okay. So, once you get them all squared up like that, this is a shorter book. So, I'm going to, oh yeah, I can see this slid. I'm going to probably just do three hole binding, a 3-hole binding. Okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back. So I want you to do your your 2 signatures like this. Then we're going to come back, and then we're going to stitch them on the binding together. Alrighty, so I'm going to hold those, I'm going to do the other, and then I'll come back with another video. I'll put that on there in case the end. I don't know how to do an end and a start picture yet. I'm learning. Thank you for your grace. But hit subscribe. If you like it, click the thumbs up. And hit the share button if you know anybody else that wants to be making one of these Hymnal junk journals.